It's a good day with one very notable exception, which I'll talk about in a moment. Yeah, we've got, I guess the government's still shut down, so we're kind of in a data-free zone. A couple of weeks, things will sauce up with earnings. As it is now, I guess the most exciting thing for me is that Palladium just keeps shining. I've been sort of obsessed with Palladium. I've loved precious metals for a long time, but I was looking. On January, I did a post that really honed in on it, and it's done very well. As gold and silver work their way up to their own respective big round numbers. Gold 4,000 and silver 50. Not quite there yet, but awfully, awfully close. The absolute stinker for me, as you might guess, was AMD. We'll talk about that in just a moment. I have changed the colors. As most of you know, I stopped using slope charts for this show last week, and some of you have written back feedback about that. And one in particular noted that the colors are really tough to read. So I hope this is better. Let me know if it's not or if it is, etc. But I'm hoping I'm showing charts. I'd really like you to be able to see them. So hopefully this is an improvement. So having said that and explained the sea of white on your screen, let's jump in. Here is the spider, and ain't not too much changed on this. It's basically up every day, and it is clinging like crazy to the bottom of that wedge. We've been in this wedge all the way back for half a year, and what's happened over the past 8 or 9 trading days has been, even though it broke below this line, has been clinging steadfastly like a magnet to this line, and we're getting closer and closer to this apex. So it's just, of course, this is the same on the ES as well, but it's just locked in to that level. My dream scenario, if I could offer it, would be for metals continue to be strong, precious metals, while equities break down. Hasn't happened yet. Metals are doing great, but the equities just keep defying gravity. Now let's talk about one in particular that defied it in a pretty horrible way, AMD. And this was doubly painful for me. Let me explain. First, just so you don't start a GoFundMe site for me, none of my individual stock positions ever account for maybe 2 or 3% of my overall portfolio. Somewhere out there, maybe somebody had an naked options position that was devastating, etc. I don't know. It stinks. Lost money on AMD, absolutely. As far as the chart goes, nothing about the chart could have given a heads up about this announcement, but OpenAI and AMD. Having said all that, it still stinks because not only does getting stopped out not feel good, but basically getting stopped out at the worst price of the day and seeing it plunge all day long from its open really stinks. But I've been doing this a long time, and I use stop losses because it opened very strong at like 226. Who's to say it would have gone to 230, 240, 250, etc. It violated the stop, so I want out. Sometimes, and today was one of those times, the open was basically the peak of the day. I guess because every bear out there got blasted out of the position, and that was all the buying all at once. We saw this with Oracle a few weeks back. You get some big AI announcement, the stock goes berserk, and then bleeds out over a period of time. I have every confidence this thing's going to sink right back down to 170, where it was on Friday, and I'll be cursing it every step of the way. But I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to I'm not going to do stop loss positions anymore. No, I think it's important to enforce that discipline with those orders, but no fun. And this is off my bear pin list too. This is a wild, wild ride on this one. But yeah, the OpenAI and AMD announcement was huge news. It sent tech in general and semiconductors sailing, with AMD being a big beneficiary of that. That's enough. That's enough we'll say about that. Let's move on to other semi stuff though. NVIDIA is actually down, and we're teasing this line a bit. This line has been a zone of minor resistance before and now minor support. And as I said last week, if we can break below that line, it opens up a little bit of sunshine to some weakness in semiconductors. The fact that AMD is the shining star right now, other semi stocks aren't really at this moment participating in that glory. It's very focused on one specific company. So NVIDIA just kind of backtracking to that support line. I'll also mention regarding Intel that it is down also, and I'm short Intel. And as we back away from this, we had actually pushed above somewhat both Friday and today, this prior peak, but we're breaking down below that level again. And just strategically speaking, I think Intel is and will continue to be in trouble, kind of the odd man out in this otherwise massive rise of semiconductor stocks. This has all been government participation, let's just call it, support, investments, literally investments, which is kind of unheard of in a capitalist society for the government to be a direct investor in these things. But yeah, continue to be short Intel. So yeah, for the day overall, a good day. Most of my shorts are down, but AMD really a fly in the ointment. As far as SMH in general goes, it's up thanks to AMD, but I did short it early today. And it's decent profit so far. It is way above this April 7 trend line. And I'd probably cover if it manages to get back down to that trend line. But yeah, a bit of a spiked trade based on what happened to AMD, and a little safer too because it's for the sector in general. But as I said, this is an unprecedented. Oracle had its own big announcement between this bar and this bar. With respect to its own prospects for building, these hyperscalers, these AI data centers, and that was the peak. And it's held on to a portion of those gains since then, but I think over the course of time, it will at least bleed off those gains until it seals that gap. So I remain short Oracle as well. As with Friday, I'm actually a little shorter than I was on Friday. I've got 24 different short positions, and as usual, I'm just long one item, focused on, Palladium, like I said earlier. So getting a little bit away from that, but still somewhat related, I want to just mention quantum for a bit. Quantum computing, been a very, very hot sector, and of course, years, if ever, away from profitability, but it really doesn't matter. It's just caught the public imagination. But just to sort of contrast two stocks in that zone, one of them is QUBT. And this is a very appropriate name, Quantum Computer Inc. And so we've had a base here, move higher, base here, move higher. And we did complete on Friday this rounded bottom with a big push on Friday, but it has lost most of that. And so it's down almost 10% on the day. And I'm going to show this pair for a couple of reasons. One is to highlight the very speculative nature of this, because it's really based upon, I likened it to, cold fusion energy or something, just a futuristic sci-fi hope that they'll figure this out into profitable companies one day. But in sharp contrast to this, the other company, which for months now, for those of you who have been watching me for a while know this, I've not been a big supporter of quantum just because it seems so speculative, but I have said if pressed, the one stock from a charting perspective that I've always liked best was this one here, QBTS, D-Wave Quantum. And to its credit, lifetime highs today. So whereas QUBT is down about 10%, this one's up about 10%. So yay charting. So, fundamentals are not, it certainly has performed very nicely. Let me just throw down another horizontal there just to highlight that base as well. So very interesting field. Let's see if anything comes of it or if it just becomes the next 3D printing. Some shorts. Abercrombie & Fitch doing very well. Down almost 8% on this, tumbling away. A new price gap there, so that helps establish a new stop loss. Symbol CC, which I'm very insecure about saying the name of the company because, I'll just call it Chemours, that's close. But this is down also more than 2% below that massive rounded top. Costco, COST, also down. Not much, about 1%, but definitely moving the right way. And it's got a nice clean gap where that red line is drawn. Netflix, NFLX, it's actually up a little bit, but so long as it maintains the position below this horizontal, I think this is in good shape. I'm not showing it here, but I'll just mention as an aside, early today, I did take profits and cover on Meta, META. I think long term, it'll go a lot lower, but it's lost almost $100 in the past few weeks. So I went ahead and scooted out of that one. And then a couple more here. Skyworks Solutions, SWKS, up just a little, but I really like that price gap that I've emphasized with that kind of peach colored area. And the last of these shorts here is Wayfair, down almost 4%. Really like this horizontal going way back, kind of a triple top in that price zone. We have very little time left, so let me just touch on precious metals because I really want to just talk about palladium for a moment. As far as gold goes, another dynamite day, getting close, very close to that $4,000 level, which I think will create a lot more excitement and attention on this. Every time you get to a big round number, it's going to get some easy press. So gold continues to absolutely thrive. Jumping down to silver, also up more than 1%, doing exceptionally well. But you know the belle of the ball for me is going to be palladium. And so my instrument of choice, and I couldn't take it anymore. I've been struggling with this, but I went ahead and doubled the size of my position this morning. My fear this whole time when I've expressed this is, what if gold and silver weaken for a few weeks? Won't that drag palladium down? I've been asking myself that day after day, week after week. I finally just threw my hands up today because if you just look at the chart by itself, if you stop stressing about the precious metals group in general, this is a dynamite chart. It's a breakout. It's a massive consolidation period. I just really like this chart. So I just threw my hands up and doubled the position and tightened up the stop to 115.5 on PALL. But I think palladium is as good as we've talked about. And at the moment, it's up not quite 5%. So a very good day there as well.
If you're not subscribed, subscribe right here. And if you want to meet me and the team in person at our next live event, hit the link at the top of the description.